Hello and welcome back to Wild Patch Homestead. Today I am making lasagna, so I thought I'd come out to the veggie patch and get some carrots. Now we had rain yesterday, so I thought the ground may be soft, but obviously not enough. It was rock solid. So I've just watered the carrots because I really want to harvest some of them, and it's just a lot easier if the ground's nice and wet. So I've just done that, so I'm going to let them sit for a little bit and then we'll pick the carrots. Okay, so as you can see, those carrots, I didn't thin them out. I had another patch where I thinned them out and they were huge, like, honestly, so good. But these are all still edible just because we didn't thin them out and they're a lot smaller. They're completely edible and I'll give them a wash and throw them in dinner, it'll be totally fine. I've had something eating my sage, but I don't mind sharing. So I'm going to pick some of this to put in the lasagna. I think that'll do. It's quite strong, especially because it's nice and fresh. Just a quick update, this is my sweet potato patch. My little sweet potatoes are doing quite well. It needs a bit of a drink, I'd say, but they seem to be settling in. I have got some spinach beet in here, which I'm going to take some for dinner. I don't need much, but that'll do. I've been meaning to pick these beans as well. Oh, they're still good. I was worried that they'd be too far gone. Not sure if you can see very well, the lighting's pretty bad. Oh my goodness, it's so much harder one-handed. That's just one plant too. They're so prolific, bush beans, or any beans actually. Can you believe that my gorgeous basil is going to seed already? I'm not ready. I'm nowhere near ready for this. So I'm going to make quite a heavy basil tomato sauce for this one. I think I might have to do a pesto or something. I'm not ready to say goodbye to the basil. I might have to do some really nice pizzas or something as well. Might take one more sprig. And there we go. Oh, so sad. Oh, should I grab rosemary too while I'm here? Can you have too many herbs? Can you? Okay, so I've been out to the garden. I've gathered what I need, so now I'm just going to get a little bit more organised in the kitchen. I am making lasagna for dinner tonight, and we'll see how we go. I also want to do banana bread. I've got some bananas they've had better days. So I'll do banana bread. I need to do some tortilla wraps as well for lunches tomorrow. I feel like there was one more thing. We'll see how, oh, I really want to do some crackers, but they won't take me long. We'll see. What's the time? It's 4 o'clock. So I should get the lasagna on now and ready to rock and roll by dinner time for, say, 6 o'clock. That's the plan. Just a heads up, if you guys aren't aware, we are vegetarian in our house, so it might be interesting for some people to see how we do it vegetarian style. There's lots of different ways to do lasagna, like vegetarian lasagna. Yeah, so it might be of interest to anyone following along, but that's what we do. Okay, all right, we'll get cracking. got my trusty apron on. So this is what I've used. I made this up recently because I found it a lot easier just to collect the harvest basically when I'm out in the garden. So I'm just gonna get out it's mainly the carrots that are really dirty. Now everything's organic, so I don't have to go overboard with washing everything, but I do like to scrub the carrots. Okay, so I've got my onions. I grew some onions, so they're really tiny. They're not the greatest, but they taste good. So I'm going to chop those up, and the carrots, get them in the pan, and see what else I just feel like throwing in that I found in the garden. Okay, so I've added water, that's what's in this jug, and I don't really use too much oil when I'm using these type of pans, mainly in my cast iron. So I've just let it sit there for a little bit. It's just, I find it cooks everything really quick too. I'm all about effective time management because I don't work very fast and I get distracted easily. There we go. I had the beans, onion and carrot added in here. This is a carrot heavy dish purely because I have a lot of carrots still to use up. They're all starting to go to seed and flowering, and it's time to get them out of the ground, whatever's left. I've pickled up a heap as well, but I've heard that pressure canned carrots aren't very nice, so I haven't even bothered. I do add it to soups that we preserve. Okay, I'm gonna add a dash of water just because that's getting there. Okay, so now I have got the tomato sauce that I made 16th of January. And I have heaps of tomato sauce. I'm really confident that I've got plenty there now, so I am going to use this as the base of my lasagna sauce. It's so versatile. That's what I love about it. I did grab out a diced tomato just in case. See how much this makes. Not sure if you can see that. I'll bring you in. So that tomato sauce is really thick, and so I can add quite a bit of water to that. And I want to add water because what I'm going to add as our meat substitute requires a lot of water, and I'm just about to add it. So we use this heaps, vegetable soy protein, and it kind of looks like when you cook it, it looks, I don't know if you can even see that very well, but when you cook it, it kind of looks like minced meat. I'm not a measurer at all. I just throw things together. That's just how I cook. I know a spatula is not the best tool to use, but too late, that's what I grabbed. Oh, that smells so good. But see how it sucks up so much of that water? And oh, I forgot the mustard. Alright, so I'm going to add some mustard as well. We really like mustard, like in food. The kids and Tim aren't so keen on it, like on its own. But in a dish, they are a fan. So that's store-bought mustard, but I've just harvested, no, I didn't. I harvested these mustard seeds that I grew last season, last summer, spring. And what was it, winter? Oh gosh, it feels so long ago now. I don't know what season we're in. And anyway, I have had them sitting there for ages, and I finally got through it all and harvested the seed, like emptied the seeds out of the pods and got like half a jar load. So I'm gonna make my own mustard soon. I've got yellow mustard seed there that I'm gonna plant. I bought it in bulk to eat and like add to our pickles and things like that, but it'll be perfect to plant as well. Which is all, that's how I grew the black mustard. I bought some from the shops and threw it in the ground. It's so thick. And I think that's incredible. I haven't added any thickening agents. So no corn flour or anything. Still just thinking I might just add a bit more. Let that sit. So what I'll do is I'll start getting the bechamel sauce done now. Ready to layer it up. So by the time I've done that, just have you looking at me. By the time this is ready, the bechamel sauce will be done. We'll all kind of come together, and then I can put the lasagna together. I'm using a really big dish. I'm hoping, like that to me isn't looking like enough sauce, so I may have to add a tin of diced tomatoes and some more of the veggie protein just to pad it out. But I like having leftovers because then we can have a leftover night and I don't have to cook for a night. So I don't mind cooking, but it's nice to have a break sometimes. Oh, the lighting keeps going really weird. Sorry about that. But yeah, so bechamel sauce is next. Okay, onto the nice white sauce that's going to go in our lasagna. You can see my measuring skills are awesome. It's actually just a slab of butter that's well overdue for being put into the butter container. I got to a point, I don't really see the point anymore. Okay, so butter is in. I'm going to move the camera down so you can see clearly what I'm doing. Let's get that heat on. This is my big burner as well, so I've got the heat right down. Normally I would do the cheese sauce over here or something, but I've got a lot going on at the moment. Alright, so we're nice and melted. So I've just got plain flour, and I'm going to put a decent amount in there. We can eat dairy in our house, but the kids don't all seem to cope very well with lots of full cream or skim milk. So it's just way too hot. I'm just using up their milks. I have one that likes soy, one that likes lactose free. It really doesn't matter, to be honest. You can even do a dash of milk and the rest water, and I will be using water because we flavour this with salt and garlic powder and things. Or you can add it literally like this. You can add cheese to make it a cheese sauce. It's so versatile. I make it for our pasta sauces, and I add turmeric and make it look nice and yellow. Now I need quite a bit because we like a really creamy lasagna. So that's finished off 2 cartons. I reckon that'll do. It's also going to thicken up a bit while it just sits here while I'm getting everything else sorted. That's really nice. I'm happy with that. It's not too thin, it's not too thick. I like a thick sauce if we're doing pasta, but it's like as a pasta sauce, but as this is lasagna, it's okay for it to be a bit thinner because you're drizzling it over the top of the meat component. So, okay, I'm gonna check this, taste it, make sure it tastes okay. I have a bunch of herbs and spinach beet to put in and some greens powder. This is, oh, what is it? Spinach, kale, spinach beet. It'll be chard, all sorts of things. Just a whole variety of different greens that we're growing in the garden over winter. We had an abundance. It was an amazing season, and I have jars and jars and jars of this. So we like to add it to dishes like this. It's a really potent flavour, but we can't taste it if it's in a dish like this. So we just add a sprinkle in and Bob's your uncle. So I'll taste that, make sure it's got enough salt. See if I need to add a bit of garlic powder. I normally have garlic, I just don't at the moment. So I'll add garlic powder, add the herbs, and then see how we go from there. Okay, I've tasted it. It definitely needs some salt. And I think I will add some garlic powder as well. More just because we like garlic. Garlic is great. I'm a fan. Wow, those herbs instantly just smell them. They're incredible. I love fresh herbs. Do you know what? I have chives and they would have been really good in this too. I didn't think about that. I can't get over how thick the sauce is. There's no thickeners either in that tomato sauce that I made. Incredible. Okay, so I'm not gonna bother cooking it down anymore because that's all cooked through and it still has to go in the oven anyway. Let's put it together. Alrighty, here we go. I might flip that so you can see that a bit clearer. So I always just put a little bit in the bottom just so that I don't want the pasta sheets to stick. I can already see I don't have much filling, but it's really not a big deal. This is just a couple of layers. I really could change the dish to a smaller dish, but I can't be bothered. This will have to do. We always just make it work, you know. So it definitely thickened up quite a lot more. Its whole texture has really changed just while I've been doing that. It's gone a bit gluggy. That's okay. It is what it is. It's really not the end of the world. Alrighty, that'll do. Oh, I wish I could do this the other way. Let's try. It looks like I've made the right amount for each thing, but I am going to save a little bit of white sauce just to put on top. I think that'll be nice. I'll do one more layer of these. Actually, I'm trying to change the way I layer it in the base, so that when we cut it, there's, you know, no one's got a big chunk just missing of pasta. Because let's be honest, that's the bit the kids like. We'll make it work. Here you go, that'll do. Alright. I do need to spin it this way because I'm right-handed and it makes it easier. I always think it's really interesting to see how different people like make different variations on a dish. There's obviously nothing classic really about my version of lasagna, but I think it's different every time I make lasagna, just because it's really based off of what I have. And I definitely could have added another jar of sauce. I just couldn't be bothered. This is going to feed bellies, and that's what's important. And my family really like my random lasagnas that I put together. And I actually forgot that my son's got boxing tonight, so I didn't need to rush anyway. Okay, cheese, and then we are done. I do have to make it nice and cheesy, because I don't add any cheese to my sauce and stuff either. So. I'm making a video. Okay, and in the oven she goes. Okay, so the lasagna is in the oven, which means I am going to make some more stuff that I need to go in the oven. I like to run the oven a couple of times a week and just do bulk food through it. I feel like it's more economical. So I'm going to make some crackers. These I found on Pinterest. It's a really good base recipe. It's from joandsue.blogspot.com. It's called Cheesy Dill Crackers. Now I am going to make a variation on this, but I'll use it as a base. I pretty much feel like I do that with all cooking recipes. So just to get started, if I had flour, that would be helpful. So it says a cup of flour, and I normally wouldn't measure, but because you guys are here, I will. Okay, I'm going to double it because I like just to smash it out basically. I know that everyone likes these, so this way everyone will be happy. It says a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That's not enough. We definitely found that they were not salty enough for us. And because they're crackers, people like crackers quite salty. So I'm adding a lot more salt. A lot more. I'm also, it says an 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. Oh, you can't see. I'll bring the camera down. Sorry guys, still learning the camera angles. Okay, I'll bring you back down and you can see what I've done. There we go. Okay, alright, so ta-da! I think I probably did, I don't know if you could have seen, I did about 3 decent pinches of the salt and just a dash. It comes out of this shaker. This is just from Aldi and it comes out really fast because look, it's got like massive holes. So, not great at that. Okay, so 1/2 cup of finely grated Gouda cheese. I can't be bothered grating more cheese, so I'm gonna add nutritional yeast because I'm lazy. And I'll add quite a lot because that's what gives you like the cheese flavor. I actually might finish this off. I'm just gonna, there wasn't heaps left. It seems silly just to keep it for that. Okay, done. Gotta add that to the shopping list. 1/4 cup of butter. And it says chilled, but I don't have chilled butter because I don't know if you just saw, it's like half melted in a packet. So Nuttalex, it is for the win. 1/2 cup. How much do I reckon 1/2 cup is? Well, how much is that? $3.75. Oh yeah, because then it would be like a cup because I'm doubling. So much of this is just about texture and how it feels. Whether it's getting the right crumb, you know, you can add more of this or you can add more flour and it'll just come together that way. Add a dash of milk and she'll be right. Okay. What else? Ooh, garlic powder. I do love garlic powder. How much? 1/4 teaspoon. I'll just give it a good shake. Again, we really like, ooh, garlic powder. That'll do. Do you know what? Oh, it says onion powder. I was just gonna say, I know it doesn't say onion powder, but I'm gonna add some, but it does, and I've got, it says powder, but like honestly it's all congealed and it's like really chunky. Oh, I do have onion powder that we've just made actually, but this is pretty gnarly, so I'm gonna use it up. Oh, hang on, how much did it say? 1/4 teaspoon? Okay, that's more, but like, that's probably the flavor hit that my family like, which is also important to go off what your family like. And it says dill, 1 teaspoon of dried dill. I don't have a teaspoon on me, and I can't, I'm just gonna, that'll do. It's really potent as well. This is from our garden, this dill, and when I blitzed it, it turned into a complete powder. So it's very strong. That is a lot of dill in this container. Like a lot from the garden. It's crazy. So I think that's it. Onion. Okay, so then now I'm gonna pulse it until it turns into crumbs, and then I've got, it says a 1/4 cup of milk, so I'll add about 1/2 cup of milk. But I'll show you. I'm gonna add the milk in bits until it kind of really starts to come together to form a dough. Don't mind the chicken bucket there, but ooh, the girls need all the scraps. Oh gosh. So this food, don't laugh at me, but this food processor I've had, oh my gosh, since my husband and I got together, maybe, we've been together 16 years, so it's probably 15, almost 16 years old. She's had better days. Oh, my camera does not want to move. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So I kind of have to hold it together. It's just a Kmart jobby, but it's really done the trick. It's been great. Alrighty. Okay. And sometimes this happens when I mess with a recipe. I messed with it too far. I think it's the nutter legs. Like I can't even see why I would need to even add milk to it at this point in time. So I have the milk just in case I need it. But I'm gonna get this out and have a good look at it. So it's meant to form a dough. I'll bring it down. And it's pretty much formed a dough on its own without me having to. See how it's really coming together? It's fine and it's oh, I just dropped it. But it's pliable. I could roll that out. So let's have a good squeeze. I already cleaned the bench down before. I think it's just got a bit of flour in it, which is not a big deal. Okay. So I don't think I need to add milk. Let's just dump her out so we can have a good look. I mean, I can always add a bit of milk if I want to, but I'd say once I start working this with my hands, it'll probably melt the Nutalex a little bit and become even more pliable. Oh, I also tasted a little bit and it's really nice and salty. So I think the family will be quite happy with that this time. All right, so I don't know, maybe a little bit. It's really hard to tell. It's a little bit crumbly, that's all, but it's still holding together so well. I just don't know about it rolling. Okay, let's give it a go, hey? I should mention that the recipe said to roll them 1/8 of an inch. I have no idea what that is, so I just rolled them until I felt like I could still work with it. I'm not sure about that. I think it's like a normal cracker kind of size. How good is that lasagna? I'm so happy. It looks amazing and I'm sure it will be delicious to eat. Okay, dinner has been served, we've eaten. So I'm gonna pop all these crackers away. Everyone's kind of been digging in anyway. I've just got an old Makona jar, which is perfect for crackers. So I'll pop them all in there. Then I've got our banana bread. It's still cooling. That turned out really well, I think. This one looks even better. I did open the oven to check on it a bit early, so that one's collapsed a bit, but this one looks nice still. So I'll cut that all up soon, freeze that, get lunches all ready to go for tomorrow. And I think the only thing I've got left to do tonight is make some tortillas. The kids are really enjoying them for school at the moment, and my husband likes it for his lunch too. But I'm really happy. I've got loads of leftovers. My oldest is still not back from boxing yet, so he'll have quite a large portion of that soon. But I think it's been really a successful dinner, and it just shows, you know, even if you don't make enough sauce like you expected to, that lasagna is delicious. It has amazing flavour. It had enough liquid, I think, because the white sauce was so, I didn't make it too thick. It was still like runny enough to pour over it. But yeah, it was really lovely. We really enjoyed it. My husband had seconds, so it can't have been that terrible. And so much for leftovers, which means that, so probably Thursday night we'll do a leftover night. Because we don't have meat in it, it will last quite a bit longer as well. I usually keep things maybe 5 days instead of like 2-3 days. Sometimes even 6. Just depends on what it is really. But I think I got so much done in such a short period of time just from back-to-back cooking. And while things were waiting, so normally what I would do is after dinner, this was still cooking for another half an hour or so, and I would have done the tortillas, but something popped up, so I did that instead because that took priority. But yeah, I've still got plenty of time. I mean, 7:30, so plenty of time up my sleeve, considering I started all this around 4 o'clock. That's not too shabby, I don't reckon. Alright, so thanks so much if you made it this far. Thanks for coming along. Really appreciate having everyone join me on this little YouTube journey, and yeah, I'd love to hear from you all and see what you think of the content. Hope to see you here next time. Thanks so much. See ya.